What's going on, Gorilla Gang? Joe back with Gorilla Joe's Barbecue, and today we are trying out the brand new MeatStick 4X. If you haven't watched my unboxing breakdown video of this, link's up here. Click that and go watch this. And we're using it today on beautiful prime brisket. Oh yeah. You're probably thinking this looks a little dark. I got it seasoned up with some Hardcore Carnivore Black, one of my favorite steak seasonings. Super excited to try it on a brisket. One of my buddies over on Instagram, ETO87, he told me he loves using this on briskets, but he puts a little extra pepper on there for a little extra crunch on that bark. So we're gonna go ahead. I already seasoned this last night. I'm gonna show you how I cut it up and season it in a second, but I'm gonna throw a little of this on there, and then we're gonna put the meat stick in it. We're heading out to the smoker. You want to make sure you get all those sides. That's looking beautiful. Of course, you can't start your day without a little Black Rifle Coffee Company. Oh. Alright, so I'm going to open up my MeatStick app, turn my MeatStick on, set up cook. I'm gonna go down to smoke, beef, brisket sliced. Now, when you open up the brisket sliced, it's gonna have a preset of an internal temp of 185 and a target ambient of 225. I'm gonna roll that target temp down to about a 160. I'm gonna put it at 155. I like to start checking my briskets around 155. And the ambient target, I'm gonna put that up to 250. Send and cook the meat stick, insert completely. I'm just gonna take it about halfway up this brisket. You wanna try to get it in nice and level. Insert it all the way up till the whole probe is in the brisket and only that ceramic part is sticking out. So that is ready for the smoker. I have it set up right now at 225. I'm gonna give it nice, long, low, and slow till I get my bark set. We're using a combo of pecan and cherry in there for a little bit of color and flavor. And I'm gonna start checking it, like I said, around about 155. But what I'm looking for is the fat to be rendered enough where you can just stick your finger straight into it. That tells me that it's ready to be wrapped. You don't wanna wrap too early. That's what ruins your bark. If you take away anything from this video, remember not to wrap too early. So I'm gonna hit start cooking, and it's going. Now, even though this is the new 4X, and with this extender it has a range of 650 feet, I am going to be leaving while I cook this, so I will turn on my Wi-Fi bridge. I love my meat stick. Just at home you can have this extender to be perfectly fine, 650 feet, but with that Wi-Fi bridge I can leave and go to the gym and keep checking on not only the temp of my brisket but also the temp of the smoker, which is awesome. So we're going to head on out there and throw this on the smoker. Just like the previous charging blocks, these are magnetic. You can stick it right on the side of your smoker. Beautiful Oklahoma morning. Now I am using the Wi-Fi bridge, like I said. I really like it. I usually just leave it out here by my smoker. I plug that in within 30 seconds to a minute. It automatically connects to my phone, tells me Wi-Fi bridge found, and now this will be able to check anywhere. We'll come back, check on this when it's probably about 4 or 5 hours in. So we'll check on it here in a little while. All right, everyone. I'm gonna go over this trim that I did real quick. I got this full brisket from Costco. It is a prime brisket. First thing I always do is try to get that out of package, getting all that blood and everything in there. Get it off as easily as I can, as clean as I can, and then I take some paper towels, just wipe it down. I started off trying to remove some of the fat and the silver skin off the top part here, just cleaning it up a little bit. I mean, I don't spend a ton of time on it. With the sides here, I try to do a thumb rule, and if the meat is thinner, bet your thumb width or thinner, I try to trim that up, give it a little more thickness. And what we're trying to do is kind of shape it in aerodynamic, make it more rounded,
And I like to take off those edges just to clean it up a little bit and remove that kind of nastier looking meat. The stuff I'm trimming right here is a really hard fat that won't render down really. So you want to get a lot of that out of there and clean that up a little bit. You'll notice I'm making 2 separate piles of meat that I trim off of what I'm going to save and what I'm going to throw away. The back side here, this thing had a lot of fat on it, so I'm just trimming off a lot of this excess fat. Try to get down to about the same thickness throughout the whole thing, but you can see on the side shot that has a ton of fat on this. So we just keep on trimming all that down until you get happy. You don't have to spend a lot of time trimming, and a lot of people worry and freak out about how much to trim, but the truth is you can trim nothing and you'll turn out a great brisket if you cook it right. There's multiple videos online. Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue has a good one about how he didn't trim anything and the brisket turned out fantastic. So I do a real simple trim and just kind of shape it up a little bit, get a lot of that excess fat off there, because I do save all this fat that is usable and I use it for ground beef. So now that we've got it all trimmed up, here I'm showing you I do save it. I vacuum seal this fat out that I want to keep. And then we went with a real good layer of the Hardcore Carnivore Black. You can see this stuff covers well. It's very dark. You'll be able to see where you got seasoning, where you didn't. I try to pat it down a little bit, make sure you get all those edges. Keep the seasoning inside the tub. That's why I do use these aluminum pans, because it really helps to keep all your seasoning in one place, and then you can you'll be laying it in seasoning to help it, get more on. Alright guys, it's been about 3 hours, and where the meat stick's at, it's saying it's 155. I know it's not done, but I just want to show you what I'm looking for. So this is looking beautiful. Let's get a close-up look at that. So that bark is looking amazing. So where I have the meat stick at, it says it's 155. So I'm showing about 150, 130. So we got plenty of long time to go. But what I'm looking for is these fat areas. I want to be able to push my finger in with no resistance on these fat areas. Like all this is not nearly done being rendered down. There's so much moisture in here still. If you wrap this right now, this beautiful bark you're getting would all be ruined. I'll come back out and check on in a couple more hours. Alright guys, it's been about 6 hours out here, and the temp throughout the whole brisket's around 165-ish, 168 throughout it. We'll take a look at this. It's looking amazing. Look at that bark. Oh, it looks beautiful. So this is the fat on the side. Super easy. Finger goes in without much problem. This is what I'm talking about. I'm ready to wrap this. Like, that is rendered down. We'll get it inside and get it wrapped. Look at that beautiful brisket. This thing looks amazing. That bark is looking great. This is ready to be wrapped, but I messed up. I didn't realize I was almost out of paper, so I don't think I have enough to wrap this whole thing in my butcher paper, which I usually do. So I'm about to do a combo of butcher paper and aluminum foil, because this is a big sucker. It is not gonna wrap completely. If I had a little more paper, this would be perfect. So I'm gonna use aluminum foil to finish off this wrap. So I'm almost gonna do a foil boat, because I just wanna get enough on the bottom. I don't wanna cover the top, because I wanna be able to let those juices soak into the paper and not be stuck in the cook. Look at how juicy that is. I think we're just gonna go like that. Maybe this will turn out amazing, and this will be everyone's new way of doing it. The foil boat butcher paper combo. So once you get it wrapped up, you're gonna take your meat stick. I'm gonna put it back in there, just like so.
This is going back on the smoker. Holy cow, guys. While I was wrapping that brisket, a package showed up. So we're gonna take a peek at what's inside. Look at what I got. Fresh off the sewing machine, or I should say the stitching machine. We got Gorilla Joe's barbecue hats. Look how cool those look. If you haven't checked them out yet, Sleeper Barbecue, Lance, he made these up for me. I sent him my logo, he got it digitized, got it on his stitching machine, sent me a handful of different types to see which one I liked to eventually use. But man, those look cool. Time to remove the KC. Looky there. Yes, sir. Alright guys, I just got back from the gym. I was watching this cook the entire time from the MeatStick app. I was getting about a 203, 204 reading on here, and I went out to probe temp it. You want to get your probe where it just goes in super easy like butter. Just no resistance. I'm not really looking for temperatures. I'm looking for resistance, and there is none. Goes straight in. I'm getting about a 204, 207, 202, so this is perfect. I'm not gonna be holding it for a really long time. We're gonna eat here in a couple hours. I'm just gonna leave it rest like this. I'll come back. You can actually leave your probe in there if you want, and then I'll just do that. I'll leave the probe in here. I'll monitor the temperature while it cools down. An hour out from dinner, I'll open it up, and that way it'll cool off a little more before I slice it. But it's just gonna sit here and rest until we're ready to go. All right, guys, we've been letting it rest for about an hour, hour and a half, but normally I'd let it rest quite a bit longer, but we're planning on eating it here shortly. So we're just gonna open it up and see what we got. Let's get into it. Ooh, that looks and smells amazing. Beautiful chunk of meat. Woo. All right, guys, you know what time it is. We got the pictures taken. We about to slice this open. Got that jiggle. I'm gonna take it, we're gonna do slices like so. I'm gonna take it about here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, look at that beauty. Oh, she juicy. Man, that is gorgeous. That is gonna be delicious. Of course, I gotta take more pictures now.
Alright guys, if you saw my recent video of the stuffed bologna log and how my audio wasn't working on that one, well, this was the video I shot right before that, and apparently that's when I accidentally unplugged my mic, so I didn't have any audio for this tasting. But you can tell by my face on these bites that this is some of the best brisket I have ever had in my life. The flavor was amazing. It was super juicy. It was cooked to perfection. I got a piece of the flat first. Now I'm cutting into here and where the burn ends would come from, because you got to get a piece of that real fatty side. Big old chunk on the corner that has a lot of that bark on there. I just can't say enough how good this Hardcore Carnivore Black does with a little bit of extra pepper for briskets. It tastes so good that I think I'm going to take, the next time I do dino ribs, I'm definitely going to use this same combination of seasonings. So, highly suggest everyone try this. Turned out great. Use that meat stick to get your cooks perfect. You can click the link in my bio and take you right to their website. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We got lots of good stuff coming. We got a few grill builds and reviews coming out too, so keep an eye out for those, and we'll see you guys next time.